Okay, this brings us to our 2-minute closing statements. And first, I want to thank the audience for the good questions, and I know that we did not get to all of them, but I encourage you to stay after we close the forum and talk to our individual candidates if you have a question that wasn't answered. So, we will now call for our 2-minute closing statement for our candidates. Candidates will have 2 minutes, and by the luck of the draw tonight, candidate Adkison will go first.
I keep getting first out of these luck of the draws here. I should be going to Vegas. Anyway, you know, I have 2 wonderful kids. I have a son that's 29. I have a daughter that's 28. I have 3 grandchildren, and I have another one that's due any day now. Riverside's been good to me. I know when I was on the city council, one of the things I talked about when I was running for council, I would want Riverside to be a place where my kids would want to raise their kids. And that's what they're doing now. And it's a great feeling. Riverside's been a great place. I'm in a good place in my life right now. My home is paid for. The college education for the kids are paid for. The weddings are paid for. I've had my business for 29 years. I'm ready to move on. I have the time to do it. But I think the most important thing about this city is the people that call it home. With that said, I look forward to being your next mayor, and I look forward to your vote.
Candidate Bailey.
As you leave here tonight, you have an important decision to make. As neighbors, we're all counting on the next mayor to lead us out of an economic recession and onto the recovery our community needs. Riverside is a diverse, historic, and proud city, and we need leaders who are collaborative, who have vision, and who can connect with others in a relational leadership style. Our mayor's decision-making process should answer the question of what is best for Riverside and include others at the table in developing the response. By uniting the city behind a promise of new job opportunities, access to education, and investment in our infrastructure and arts groups, we will realize the vision of those that founded the city on the values of social justice, economic progress, and inclusiveness. In order for Riverside to keep that promise for future generations, we must seek new and creative ways of tackling the issues we currently face. I will continue to work on these challenges as opportunities, as a problem solver, not a politician. I will collaborate with the business community, the education sector, faith-based institutions, nonprofits, and all levels of government to ensure that Riverside does seize its destiny as the city of arts and innovation. Without a doubt, we are facing some tough times in Riverside, but I will never give up on a community that has given me so much and my family so much. I'm committed to strengthening the perception of Riverside to one of a location of choice for the new economy and its knowledge-based workforce, to a location of choice for homeowners and students, to a location of choice for veterans and families. While the best days for Riverside can be ahead of us, we can only keep that promise with creative solutions, real jobs, and fresh leadership. If you share that vision with me, I ask you to vote Rusty Bailey on June 5th, and I look forward to answering your questions tonight. God bless you all, and God bless Riverside.
Candidate Benavidez.
Tonight I tried to outline my candidacy for mayor based on demonstrated experience, accomplishments. Some of the questions asked of us tonight were very tough. I don't believe a mayor should be a know-it-all. Because if he is, that's one step away from a dictatorship. I do believe, though, that a mayor must possess leadership skills. And my background has demonstrated leadership. As your mayor, one of the first things I would do in my 100 days is to surround myself with experts of compassionate people who know about specific issues that I will lay out in my first 100 days. I do believe that what I bring to the table, as diverse a background that surpasses these 6 wonderful people with me tonight, whether it's affordable housing, daycare for children, programs for older adults, people with disabilities, in the transportation field, in the health and wellness field. I bring that to the table. And as we move forward through this campaign, it's my job and my role to define who I am. Thank you very much.
Candidate Chavez.
I have to first apologize that I am a worker and I'm exhausted, okay? So, but to tell you anything that you just want me to tell you, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to lie to you. I would tell you the truth. I would be honest with you. I want your input. I don't want you to think that I know it all or somebody else knows it all. I definitely want your input on what you're thinking and what you want to do. I think it's a joint effort between the mayor, the city council, and Scott Barber, our city manager, to get our finances back in order. And it's going to be a lot of hard work to do and a lot of struggling. And we're not going to panic code it anymore. We can't do that anymore to ourselves. We got to be honest with ourselves, face our debts. We're going to go on and work hard to struggle to come out of it successfully, bringing in businesses and making good decisions about our finances, and also to maybe look into the Riverside Municipal Code where the businesses cannot come here because we have a stranglehold on our businesses and our business practices. So that's what I would recommend, is everybody read the Riverside Municipal Code and see what changes that we should make, what things we should not have do, what items we should change in our municipal code that does affect our business, bringing in businesses, and also too, that affects you. If you don't like something in there, you gotta let us know. And hopefully we can work on that. But definitely, I want your input. I want to work with you. I don't want to exclude you, because that would be the worst thing we can do, is exclude you. And because we need to go on with our future. So we're going to deal with our work now, you know, to get the budget back into the
Candidate
thing.
Chavez, your time is up. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Candidate Gardner.
You've heard us all say, and we're all good people, and we all have the interests of our city in mind. We're running for the right reason. We want to help make our city a better place. And you've heard that we have different ideas about how to do that. I think my ideas are better. I think I am best suited to be your mayor because of my combination of experience. Half our budget is in our utilities. I'm the only candidate with any significant utility experience. I think that's really key for us. I think my experience running a large organization will be exceptionally valuable. I've been a proven leader and innovator on the council. I'm really good at getting people to work with me. I have a vision of where Riverside can go and how to get us there. I have leadership skills to bring the council with me and get that done on your behalf. And I would ask for your vote. Thank you.
Candidate Melendrez.
Thank you so much, and thank you for coming out today and showing your interest in local government. I believe Riverside is a city of tremendous potential and possibilities. When you ask me about, or people ask me, what is it that you've done as a city councilman? One of the areas that I like to point to is University Avenue. We're seeing a transformation of a community. It's not just about knocking down buildings, but building a fabric of the community. We have had some serious issues to deal with in our east side, whether it was a gang injunction or a gang sweep. And when those things occurred, I was there. I met with the community, I worked with the community, made sure they understood the reason for this. I partnered with our police department and others to make sure that the community understood. Outreach, extremely important in a mayoral position. Also, when you think about job creation, we talk about creating jobs, but some of the individuals that I've worked with very closely, one with AMRO here at Marsh Joint Towers, we made sure that this company came in and respected the quality of life of the community. I'm also working with the solar company to bring them right into the city of Riverside. I'm also working with a professional sports team to bring them here to the city of Riverside. And over the past 3 years, I've worked closely with Dr. Dean and Dr. Oles at the UCR Medical School to make sure that this was going to happen. From an educational standpoint, we're going to be opening up a Riverside City Music School this spring. We also have a successful opera program, which is now in its 5th year. And we've taken our summer reading program from 350 participants 2 short years ago to over 1,600 children. And we anticipate that it will exceed 1,800 this summer. As mayor, you need to think about the future and begin working on the future now.
Thank you,
not
Candidate
later.
Melendrez. Candidate Pitruzzello.
This next election is a very critical one. Riverside needs a new direction. You can vote for any of the former and current council members, but I guarantee you that you will be voting for the status quo. As Riverside's next mayor, I have already done my homework. And I know how to read the financial documents, and I know what needs to be done to put Riverside back on a strong financial track. It will take time, but we have incurred an enormous amount of debt over the last decade, and we need to stop spending, bonding, and taxing. As Riverside's next mayor, I understand the strength of communities, I understand the needs of businesses, and I understand the need to ensure that all youth who want to go to college or higher training should be able to access it. As Riverside's next mayor, I will not allow families to bear the brunt of fiscal mismanagement. I will not allow for hidden fees and taxes to burden families. And I will not allow the finances of the city to be hidden from residents. I will maintain an open door policy, work to bring in new ideas to the city in the way of jobs, entertainment, and family-friendly activities. By holding these focus groups, I will work hard to reduce the number of homeless, many of which are single mothers and children. I want to be your next mayor so that I can tell the new story of Riverside, a story where residents are informed of decisions that City Hall makes, a story where families can pay their bills and can enjoy all of the opportunities and amenities that Riverside has to offer. I leave you with this quote: "Taxes are what we pay for a civilized society, but how we tax and how we spend determines, to a great extent, whether we are prosperous or poor, free or enslaved, and most important, good or evil." Thank you.
That concludes our forum for this evening. In closing, I want to just take a minute and thank our candidates. I'd like to give them a round of applause. And also to remind each of you that the candidates will be here after we're concluded this evening, and also that we will post our video of tonight's forum on riversideleague.com. So thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your evening.